All right, all right, all right. I think I'm back. Hello, Zen Friends. Welcome to a special Sunday afternoon session that I come back on and I finish out all the readings from the morning session, including all the free readings, so that you can make sure to get a message from Spirit today. Um, uh, if you notice in the description box of the video, I do have a list of all the readings that I'm going to complete in this session. After I'm done, I'll do a pinned comment listing that list with timestamps. So you can just click on it and go directly to your reading as well. There's no chat in this session because I'm not taking any new questions, just finishing up those from this morning. I'll be back on Thursday for more readings if you'd like to join me then. Blah, blah, blah. I am going to switch over to the Chinese tarot deck. Just wanted something new for this session. I get bored of the same tarot deck over and over again as well. So I like to switch it up for me, if anything else. So without further ado, I think that's everything I wanted to say. We'll jump in here. And I do have, I think, like 5 donations to finish first. Those will be a little longer because we do dive deeper into those. Then we'll get into the free readings. Those are 1 to 2 card readings, so those will move more quickly than these other ones. So we will get into those. But we'll start off here with Gemini Sun, Aquarius Moon. Let me grab your timestamp here. Thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate that. And let us get in here. There we go. Let me just move that. There we go. All right. So your question, spot on. From before, I am assuming when working with GN and CM on the BC project that's currently underway. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So you want to know, number 1, a reading on how GN and CM feel about how the project is going. Okay. Alrighty, let me just move that out of the way. Okay, so the first part is how they feel about the project. So GN, all right, they got a lot of thoughts, and CM just has one, or feelings, how they feel. And then the outcome, so outcomes. So what are the outcomes of the project? Okay. And then number 3, when will the project's goals be labeled a success? Spill all the tea. All right, let's take a look here. So based on current energies, of course, when will it be labeled? Maybe it's Labor Day. Labeled as a success. All right, we'll take a look here. Yeah, I do have here, we've got the Strength card on the bottom of the deck here, which the Strength card is Leo energy, Leo season, which is coming up July 22nd through August 22nd-ish. Not sure when Libra season start. Not Libra. Yeah, Libra season. No, Virgo season. When does Virgo season start this year? It changes from year to year. The day can change, that's why. But I do feel Leo season is a big part of where a lot of the work gets done, of course. A lot of the energy and things moving forward here, it feels like a big focus is that period. So let's look here. This is GN. What are their feelings about it? Oh, wow, they got 4 cards. So we have the Page of Cups. So there is some happy energy with the Page of Cups. It's a heightened emotion. 2 of Swords. So it is a little bit of a battle between the head and the heart. Let's see what that's about here. Yeah, we got the Moon card. So a lot of Moon emotional energy here with the 10 of Coins, 10 of Pentacles. So I do feel here they are trying to focus on expressing more their heart side and be nurturing, be supportive. They do feel that ultimately there is success. But that little mind, I just feel like with them, comes in where there's always just a little tweaking to do, a little something more that could have been done. But it's weird. Um, right now, their energy is focusing more on trying to be more nurturing. It's like I feel like they're not normally that way, but with this Cancer moon energy of the Cancer season we're in, Jupiter expanding into Cancer for about a year, there's all this extra emotional care that they're carrying about how they're coming across. Maybe it was on their review or something too. I don't know. But I feel like it's something that they're reading books on. They're trying to get more into their having more empathy and being more supportive from an emotional standpoint. So I feel like that's what they're mainly doing. They have a lot of positives, but their mind used to be always like, well, there's this, there's like a good job, but there's always a but. Now there's just good job. Good job, everybody. I feel like we're doing really well. Keeping the butts to themselves. That's funny. So I feel like that is for GN. CM, short and simple, 9 of stabs, 9 of wands. Interesting energy here that CM has it's an energy of perseverance and trying to push everybody to hang in there and kind of a cheerleader energy. But I kind of feel like they feel like there's a block. They feel like things aren't going as smoothly and as quickly as they want it to. So I feel like more so, it feels like CM is more on the feeling pressure and stress side um, than GN is right now. So um, I feel like they are, again, that perseverance and encouraging people on the outside, but they kind of, maybe they just have a lot of other things going on because I feel like they're stressed, but I'm like, well, where's the stress? And I feel like they're just like, well, but we got this and this and this going on. And like, well, this project is, I feel like is going along fine, but I feel like they've got their, what are their poker, whoa, in a lot of fires. And so it feels like overwhelming and they just want things to get finished up because I feel like they are feeling overwhelmed in their life in general. So I feel like that's the energy coming in with them. The outcomes, let's see here. We do have the King of Cups. That is a good balance between head and heart energy that comes in. We got the Two of Staves, the Two of Wands. Again, this balancing, but we got the Eight of Coins. So this overall is good with the Eight of Pentacles because it is, Eight of Pentacles is putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, and getting the results. And the fruits will definitely come in, and the reward and the transformation comes in with this. I like the overall energy of the King of Cups, which is that balance between head and heart that comes in. The Two of Wands, it's interesting because it's like, well, what are the outcomes? Well, it depends on who you ask. Again, as we saw, depends on what people are choosing and what people are focusing on. Two of Wands is if I focus on gratitude, I see the abundance. If I focus on expectations, I see the lack, and what didn't work. So the outcome is going to depend on the perception of the individual because everyone can see it differently. Different levels of success, different levels of neutrality, and different levels of failure and disappointment and lack and gaps of stuff. So it really depends on who you ask. For the important decision-making people who, sign your PE, your, I was going to say physical exam. That's not what that stands for. Your performance evaluation. So it feels like it's good with the King of Cups, a good balance between head and heart. Great Gemini energy. King of Cups, Queen of Swords is that balance of head and heart. And I feel like the performance overall of the perception of those people who are important in determining your job, I feel like they see that balanced Gemini energy that comes in there. And then when will the project's goal be labeled success? We've got the Page of Swords. And we've got the Empress. Well, there's the success and the abundance and the fulfillment coming in here. Sorry, these cards are really bright. I didn't realize that. Page of Swords, Page of Swords, Page of Swords. I mean, it's a card of clarity and seeing things from a different perspective. But, going back to this underlying energy of the Strength card and being the Leo season, I feel like it is Leo season. So I feel like it does feel like between, and I heard Labor Day before, right? I do feel like the end of Leo season, which is around August 20th, around there somewhere, and September 1st, which is Lamas. Let me see here. Now I have to look because I feel like that is an important date. September 1st. No, August 1st is Lamas. That's interesting. Okay. So it wasn't the day I thought it was. But yeah, because August 1st is learning to expect and receive abundance and blessings, which is interesting. But it is bringing me to that because the 8 in August and all of this, it is about abundance and fulfillment. But I do feel like it's more around August 20th and between that and Labor Day, or shortly thereafter Labor Day. But it'll be deemed a success again by different individuals at different times because of different expectations, right? So important to know there, but I do feel like overall the general consensus is toward August 20th and around September 1st. So hopefully that helps. And let's get you a fortune cookie here too. Let's see, where do we want to go here? I feel like we're being drawn to the angel numbers. Let's see what we have here. Right, here we go. And look, 11111. Wishes come true. You're in for a lucky break. It may come as happy news, experience, new opportunities, or an exciting acquaintance. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. It is not a coincidence, but a gift from fate. So I like this. It's manifestation. Yeah, that's the big thing with what we're talking about regarding this project. So it feels very positive with all of that. All right, so that's what they have for you, Gemini Sun, Aquarius Moon. Thank you again for your donation. I appreciate that. All right, and then we have SUDESHNA. Oh wow, this timestamp is 1313. You got, like, I think in your earlier session, both of your first group of questions and your second had significant numbers, and now this one too. Wow, it's all synchronicities with numbers, so be aware of those. So thank you for your dual donations. We'll jump to Shawn G after this and then back to you for your third one too. We'll see what that number comes in. No, I probably jinxed it. I know, but we'll see. All right. So for your first of two, for this one, let's see. All right. So regarding T, what was the higher purpose of your current situation? Okay. Current situation. All right. And like, he isn't bothered by me or doesn't care for you. So he isn't bothered by you, doesn't care for you, question mark. And then he's only concerned for his own peace, right? That's why he only wants peace out of the situation, question mark. All right, let's take a look here. So kind of is that all together, right? Yeah, underneath the surface, there is the Three of Cups, which is joy and celebration and gathering of friends, kind of energy. So the overall, like, their overall energy is they just want joy and they don't like conflict. And it is about, and which all humans, we want happiness inside of us, right? We want our own joy. Yeah, we're like, yeah, I want everyone else to be happy, but ultimately, I want other people to be happy so that I can feel happy, right? Because really, when it comes down to it, human characters, we just care about us being at peace and have happiness. I just want love. Well, I want them to feel love too, because when we get down to the root of it, I want them to feel loved so that they feel good about me. It's always comes back to the human survival and about themselves. When we're in our human lower vibration, when we're in our higher vibration, unconditional love and joy, we have compassion, we have true concern, and not really so much concern as great intentions for everyone else. But when we're in our human lower vibrations, then it's all about us. All right, let's take a look here. So, what was the higher purpose of your current situation? You have the Six of Wands, the Six of Staves, and the Queen of Coins, the Queen of Pentacles. So, this is about higher purpose, really, of any situation is to bring us back to ourselves. The Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, looking at our own growth with this. And the Six of Wands is about a balance of our energy as well. And so a higher purpose of this current situation, not the whole relationship, but this current situation is to bring you back to you, to focus on your own heart rather than having your energy invested in what are they thinking? What do they want? What do they feel about me? Putting your definition of yourself over there in La La Land instead of down in here where, out there, depending on the day, obviously, one day it could be you feel like their opinion of you is amazing. The next day you think their opinion of you sucks, right? And that's the fickleness and instability of the outside world. When we turn inward and upward, that's the only place we get a solid foundation of our worth, from in here. And I feel like that's the big piece of this with the Six of Wands, is to balance out that energy instead of having it so invested over here and what's going on? Are they ever going to do this? And, so much energy. The energy is coming back to you. So I feel like the higher purpose of the situation was to bring your energy back to focusing on your journey, who you are, your own self-love, your own inner journey, then being focused on them. So he isn't bothered by you. Yeah, I mean, they're focused in on, seeing things from a higher perspective, making their own choice. That's the Justice card, sorry. And the Emperor card coming in here, which is them making their choices for their life, deciding what to do. And the Five of Cups is about, they don't like feeling lower vibrational emotion. They like feeling higher vibrational emotion. So that lower vibrational feeling of conflict, they don't like that. They like peace. They like being in a peaceful state, a joyful state. And so that's a big piece of what's bothering him, is the conflict energy. So he's not bothered by you. He's bothered by the emotions that he's feeling within himself, and that he wants to resolve and do what he can to transform those conflicting emotions that he has inside of, or emotions around conflict. Doesn't like being at odds with anyone. Does he care for you? We have the Eight of Wands and the Six of Swords. So before, with the Eight of Wands, there was passion there. The Six of Swords is a change of mindset around it all, which just over time, the passion, the newness, the attraction energy just drifted away. And both of these flow energies, they had a change of mindset, they had a change of energy, and that's okay. When we, again, when we're talking about having this energy come back to you, it's like when you're focused on what do they feel about me? Are they bothered with me? They don't care about me? Well, these are all mirrors. What if they do? What if they don't? It doesn't matter. Because what matters is, are you bothered by you, and what bothers you about others? Do you care for you, and do you truly care for others? But really focusing back on you with this Queen of Pentacles. Are you bothered? What bothers you about you? What do you fear? If you feel other people can be bothered by you, then there's something inside of you that feels that you can bother others. And so what happens is interesting. I just saw a post earlier today or yesterday, that talked about how we don't really know what people think. We don't really know how people really feel, but we create these characters in our head, a duplicate of them in our head, and we assign what we think they think about us, how they feel about us. But really, what we're doing is, this is how we feel about ourselves. We're putting it on them and then having this perception. So it's not really the concern of what they really think or really feel, but it's how you feel about yourself. So you can ask yourself, what bothers me about me? Because I wouldn't worry about if I bothered other people if I believe there's nothing in me to bother other people. So if other people feel bothered, well, that's about them, not me. But as long as you feel like there's something within me that could bother others, that's a fear you have, and that bothers you. So you look at that. Also, caring for yourself. Do I care for me? Well, if you did, you would care more about how you feel about yourself and not what other people feel about you. So when you put your definition of yourself and determination of the story you're going to have, the emotions you're going to have, what you're going to experience based on other people's actions or non-actions, words or silence, that shows us that I don't care about me as much as I feel like I care about what they care about me. And that's not the place for it to be. That's unstable. We find stability in here, inward and upward, as we do this. So an important message for us all, really, around that. That's what I found out. Like, I was cheating on myself with other people, because self-worth, self-love comes from self, but I was looking for my worth and my love outside of me. So I was cheating on myself with these human characters. That's why they would end up cheating on me, because it was a mirror of what I was doing to myself. So think about what bothers you about you, and where can you care more for yourself in here, right? And then, is he only considered for his own peace, meaning he only wants peace out of the situation? Yep, Seven of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, the Seven of Swords is those fears, those thoughts, those beliefs that steal opportunities, all that conflicting energy. They just want what's best for everyone, regarding a conflict, which is peace for everyone, right? They want peace in the situation, but ultimately it is so that they feel better about themselves. So hopefully that helps a little bit there. Bring back all that energy to focusing on you. What do they think about me? Why did they do what they did? Well, look at, why do you do what you do? Why do you argue? Why do you judge yourself so harshly? Why do you look for your worth outside of you? All these are great questions for all of us, because it's our human adventure. You're definitely not alone in it. It all resonates with me when I was going through all my relationships, and I get it. It's where we learn. It's where we grow. And the freedom that comes on the other side of it is definitely worth it. Right? So your first fortune cookie says, I know that each step I take toward one dream creates momentum for my next. I am moving forward. That's what I like most out of the card there for you. It's really standing out. Leave that, mourn and do all your mourning, right? But move towards moving forward, right? So I feel like that's what they have for your first one there, Sudeshna. So thank you for that. And thank you for your second donation, of course. All your multiple donations. And for this one, you want to know about your next significant loving relationship. How will you meet, or have you already met? When will we meet? How will the connection progress? go and any other information. All right, let's take a look here. I really encourage you to focus in on, we talked about expectations. One of your readings, I believe, was talking about a period of time of being in the high priestess temple, reviewing expectations. Try not to leap into the next one till you work through the learnings from the past so that you're not rushing to get into the next one just to learn it all over again because you haven't really taken the time to absorb and bring the lessons and information and clarity that has come in through this situation so that you don't have to repeat another one, right? But just a heads up with that to start off. Let's see here. Let's talk about how you'll meet or have you already met. You have the 10 of Cups. So you have not met them yet because the 10 of Cups is about you will meet them in a joyful setting with the 10 of Cups. Could be a joyful event, but it's doing something and doing stuff you love. You're out playing, you're out enjoying, you're out living life, not in search of love, right? You're just following your heart and going, oh, wow, I want to go do this. And you're doing something creative, you're doing something fun. And then while you're out doing that, someone else is also out living life and having fun and enjoying life, and you bump into each other. And whatever this thing is that you're doing, it's the same. You both appreciate it, and you like the same things with that, and it brings you in this joy. I like it, and so it's organically grows from there rather than I'm on the hunt for love and I go on this date and that's how we meet. No, it's you out living life. You bump into someone without intentions of meeting someone. You bump into them. So that's how you meet the next significant loving relationship. When time frame? Do we have a time frame at all? Probably going to get some sort of wands energy. It all depends on the inner work that you're doing, because they do want to delay it until after you've really thought about what you've learned from past relationships. Because you asked, right, why do I keep having heartache and expressing it? Well, if we just keep leaping like I did, I was a serial monogamist. I would go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, hardly any time in between to really process and understand and grow. I just kept repeating the same lesson. And then after it was then reflected on everything and then learned after they were all done, instead of, having a relationship, taking time to understand and grow, and then go into a new relationship. And then after that ends, taking time to learn and grow from that, and then going to the next one. Because you don't learn anything if we're just jumping from relationship to relationship. We keep doing what we've always did and getting what I always got, right? So that's what happens. But when will you meet? Yeah, Wheel of Fortune. We have the wheels of fate that will turn here. But the wheels of fate turn. And this one feels like it's the energy when you're ready for it. Again, like we were saying, they're like, the wheel will turn when you're ready. And how do you know when you're ready? You won't know, but Spirit does. I know. But what you can do is reflect, because that's how you get ready, is by questioning expectations, thoughts, beliefs, mindsets around relationships, what fears you have, what worries you have around love, right? And that's how you can get to the bottom of it. I don't know if it was you that got that 9 of Swords before, where it was like, make a list of your 9 worries that you have around relationships. Then you can get to the root of what's below the surface of those, right? And then what emotions no longer serve you, letting those go. What energy no longer serves you, and letting that go. What things in your physical world don't fulfill you, and you can let that go, all right? How will the connection progress? Let's take a look here. Okay, I do one of these. Give the 4 of Swords, yeah, and the Page of Coins. So the 4 of Swords is about letting the expectations go. It's a peace of mind. Usually someone's like sleeping on the Ace of Swords, Three swords on the wall, which is expectations equal disappointment. So once you put a lot of expectations to rest, then the page of pentacles brings in the opportunity. So like they were saying here with the wheel of fortune, as you're focusing on raising your love vibration by questioning and releasing, transforming those things, then the energy takes you to the next level, which draws in the next relationship. They are pausing bringing in anyone new because they don't want you to bring in the old type of relationships that you've had in the past. They're like, all right, you've had enough of that. You're like, I agree. So they're pausing things coming in. So things really slowing down relationship wise and interactions so that you don't draw in lower vibration. It gives you time to raise love vibration. And as you raise your love vibration, it does draw in, the higher vibration. It draws things and speeds things up and brings it in faster as well. So I like that for you. Any other information and anything about the significant love relationship, please? Anything else about them? Let's see what this one, and this one. Yeah. The bottom of the deck. Just remember the tower, the tower, the tower. This relationship is being removed out of your way to make space for something new. So I like that. Just confirmation on the bottom of the deck. You have the King of Coins, the Eight of Cups, the Emperor. Yeah, all this, Eight of Cups is, we talked about that already, right? About leaving behind relationships and emotions that don't serve you anymore. And it also is an energy of, being aware of where you're investing all of your emotional energy so you can build up your emotional bank. Because if all your emotion is going off on what is this person thinking? What is this going on? What about these other people? Just being really aware of where's all my emotional energy going in my life and what of my emotional energy is pushing down emotions from the past. Because all that output of all this emotional energy leaves you almost emotionally bankrupt, where there's no money in your emotional bank to be able to invest in a new relationship. So until you build that emotional bank back up, that also is important so that you can draw in the next relationship too. You have the King of Coins, the Emperor. I do feel the next one with the King of Pentacles, someone very grounded, maybe even an earth sign, but it is someone that is very grounded, very secure in themselves, confident, a feeling of abundance in the outside world. They define themselves from the inside, not from the outside. So they've got that stability that we were talking about. They don't look to other people to define them. They're self-defined. So that's a good energy there. And then what's interesting is that you guys are drawn together because that's where you're getting, that's what you're learning, is not to define myself by the outside world, but to self-define myself. And because you are, that's why you raise your vibration, and that's why you guys meet. Isn't that cool? And then you have the Emperor, which again is an energy here. What they want you to know is it's focusing on you right now, because the Emperor, of course, clears the throne room, gets rid of all these opinions and expectations, and really sits in the silence of the throne room, having everyone being sent out of the throne room to be able to go, what do I want? Not what I think I'm supposed to want and all that, but what do I want? And I like that energy for you here, because once you decide what it is you truly want, and then you put a plan together and your energy focuses on gratitude for what is and what you've loved about relationships of the past, not what you've hated, what you feel you need and want, but what you have loved and are grateful for. This Aries energy of focusing my energy on things that I do love, that's what helps draw in the next relationship. So they don't want to jump a whole lot ahead and talk about the who. They're talking about the process and how you can get there. And so they're giving you like steps that you can do, things that you can do to help that move faster, instead of focusing on the outcome. It's focusing on what you're working on right now. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what they have that for that one. Let's get you your fortune cookie here, and then we'll circle back around in a moment for your final one as well. And you've got 1414, light up, which says focus on your needs, desires, and hobbies, right? Doing the stuff you love. Everything is more accessible with a light attitude or a higher attitude. You will be blessed with new opportunities, a new friend, or an addition to your family. Good vibes will speed up the process. You can't make it up. It really says it there on the bottom. Let's see if I can do it. Good vibes will speed up the process. Like I said, higher vibration speeds things up, right? Can't make it up. Boom, boom, boom. I love the confirmations. All right. So that's what they have for those. Again, thank you so much for your donations. And then Shawn G, you are up. So Shawn, thank you so much for your additional donation and your donations today. I want to know what are Jay's thoughts and intentions towards you. Ooh, another letter of the alphabet. What was the other one? Was the other one K? Are you working your way down? Just kidding. Am I? Let's take a look at that. Let's shuffle these up. Don't hunt me down. Don't hunt me down. All right. So what are Jay's thoughts? Let's look at that first here. What's going on in his thoughts towards you? Okay. Okay. All those. And then intentions. Fill are those. I feel like you need to know these. Okay, let's take a look here. So, bottom of the deck, we do have the Knight of Coins, the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is one of the slowest moving knights. You're like, no kidding. Slow roll. Little J, slow in movement, slow in action, slow in response. Just very measured. And we'll find out more about that as well. But it just feels like very slow movement energy here. Let's see here. Their thoughts. Okay, let's tap in here. We've got the Nine of Cups. It's a good dream come true type of energy. But it feels very mental. It's interesting. Emotional. This is what an emotional dream come true looks like. Check, 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 check. It's like they've got all these, again, very measured. This is that energy of, I've got a list of what a dream come true is. And look, you check off a lot of those boxes. You check off these boxes, and we have that, right? We've got the Eight of Cups, too. Nine of Cups, Eight of Cups. What is this? He's a very interesting person, very interesting energies. Excuse me while I burp up some of my dinner. Sorry. Very interesting. Oh, it's giving me indigestion. No, he's not. But there's this, because I'm feeling it from them, and then I feel like it's a perception of you too. That's why I was like, is this them or you? And it's like, it's both. It's the recognition that they've let go of relationships and people and situations that don't serve them anymore. And they feel like you do the same thing. You don't keep people around that you don't put up with it, kind of energy. And they don't either. They're like, if they aren't towing the line, then I don't keep them around. And they feel like you're that way too. That's their perception of you. I feel like they're a little bit right in that perception. But you don't make it like, oh, you're out. Too bad. You don't make rash, quick decisions and on the cuff, just throw people out of your life. You really, there's some people that just, it's like almost like getting fired from a job. That reminded me of my old company I used to work for. It's like, it was hard to get fired from that job. Unless you did something really egregious, then there was a no-brainer and you were gone. Otherwise, there was a verbal warning, a documented verbal warning, a written warning, a final written warning, and then termination. And I feel like it depends on the situation that you give a lot of people a lot of grace. But if they do egregious things, fired! All right. Let's see what else there is. We have the Judgment card. Seeing things from a higher perspective, Confucius. Very wise. And they do see you as someone who, very intelligent. They see you as someone that sees things differently than a lot of people, but it's from I wouldn't say they wouldn't say enlightened, but it is from an enlightened standpoint, from a different standpoint, from a different higher perspective. You see things more for what they are than for what people are presenting them. And so they see you as that. And then the Justice card too. Wow. So both, these two cards about seeing things from a different perspective and fairness. You're just and you're fair, even though some things might, this is the way he perceives you. Yeah, sometimes things might kind of piss you off, but you also understand it and go, I don't, yeah, it really upsets me, but I also understand. And I'm going to give you grace in this. I understand, but I'm plotting, you don't know how close you came to death right now, but I understand. That's funny. So I like that he's got a good, it feels like a healthy, at least, mindset with that. What are their intentions? Yeah, we have the Tower coming in here, and the Universe, which is the World card, which is the ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. Tower card is something being suddenly removed out of our lives too. It's funny, the intent. Well, we'll see what these other three cards are underneath it. It's like the intentions. I don't know if so much intentions is the word, but it's their belief in what they feel the ultimate outcome would be, is that there'll be a sudden ending of this connection. And I feel like on one hand, they're either going to be like, because either you will end it because of their, this concept of, if you don't meet up, you're out. Like that, I won't meet up to your expectations and I'll be gone, or you won't meet up to mine and you'll be gone. And I kind of feel like that's where this will head, because I don't feel like I don't feel like they feel like you're the one. I don't feel like you feel like they are the one either. But they're like, we'll go through the cycle and we'll do all this, but it will end. Is kind of this energy. Interesting, right? Let's see what's underneath here. We got the Temperance, just a matter of time. Again, this Knight of Coins. That's why they're not really rushing, because then you're rushing to the end, right? So they're taking their time, knowing that it's only going to be around for so long. Three of Swords, yeah. See, that's that expectations equal disappointment. And looking for the dream come true. The true dream come true with the Star card. And I feel like they know that they're not your dream come true and that you're not their dream come true. Even though the Nine of Cups, they're like, you check off a lot of these things, but ultimately it feels like you both are not like, no, this isn't the last relationship either of us will just have. So interesting. If it's that type of relationship at all. I was assuming it was, or that's the energy I was picking up, but regardless, whatever kind of relationship and interaction it is, it's like, yeah, this isn't a forever kind of deal. This is enjoy it, take your time with it, because it's like a dessert. This is the last dessert. This is the last bowl of ice cream left in the freezer. Savor it, enjoy it, because after it's gone, it's gone. There are no more in there till you go to the store and get a new one, right? All right, let's see here. I do feel like I'm being drawn to the everyday miracles from the Course in Miracles. Let's see what they have here for you. Yeah. So forgiveness offers everything I want. And it says, each lily of forgiveness offers all the world the silent miracle of love. Interesting. It's releasing people and understanding that everyone always gives everything they can in the moment with where their thoughts and beliefs are, where their energy is at, where their environment is, that everyone's always doing the best they can. And they're not intentionally trying to piss us off or, create the atmosphere where it's easier to choose to feel hurt and pain or whatever, that we can forgive and release people, not because they deserve it necessarily, but because we deserve it. We deserve to release it. And I feel like that's important for this question and just for love in general, but that's what they have. All right. All righty. So that is what they have for you, Shawn G. Thank you again for your donation. And Shawn's donations. That's what I'm going to call it from now on for you. Thank you for your donation. I must need sleep. Okay. So thank you so much, my dear. Have a great rest of your weekend. All right. Sudeshna, we are back for your final question here. And thank you again, all the multiple donations. For everyone else, this will be the last donation question. Then we'll jump into all the free readings. Those will go faster because we go less deep. So hang in there. All right. So you're saying T shared a sad status which says, people leave him while he waits for them. Is it meant for Ruparna or for you or anyone else? All right, let's see here. So who was this geared toward? So we'll take a look here. Well, because you didn't leave him, he left you, right? I don't want to talk to you anymore. So it won't be about you, but we'll take a look here anyway. We'll pull a card for Ruparna. We'll pull a card for you and pull a card for other. Maybe it's just all of the above. They just feel it all. But let's take a look here. What's underneath here? Yeah. They do the bottom of the deck. They do have the Three of Swords, which, of course, expectations equal disappointment. I've been saying it since I was 16 years old. 16, 26, 36, 46, 50. So over 40 years. Surprised my family wasn't around me a whole lot of that. So that's probably good. They probably would have killed me because even from 16 to 18, before everyone went our separate ways. They were like, oh my God, expectations equal disappointment. When you expect something, it's never going to last 100% for the rest of your life. You're going to feel disappointed if you expect it. So, but that is that disappointment. They are expecting people to do things and people aren't doing what I expect them to do. Right. That's what takes us into that energy. So let's see here. Rupama, is it about them? Got the Hermit energy. I feel like that was already alone. Feeling alone energy there. I don't feel like it was them. King of Coins, King of Pentacles with you. That's abundance. Energy that they feel like they were in control of that one, being in the kingly seat. So someone else. The 10 of Coins. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles energy, which does have to do with relationship energy and the fullness of life. So I'd feel like more so it could be an echo with this loneliness of the hermit. So I feel like that's part of it, but it actually goes back much further too in their life. Because talking about echoes, there really are no new emotions we feel as adults. What? I know. We don't experience anything new. We're just echoing emotions we felt when we were 7 years old and younger. Think about that, because there's this great process. I think is it The Presence Process by Michael Brown? It's a great book. I think it was in that book. But it was really, I was like, wow, because when you think about like, what emotion am I feeling right now? Like, let's say, this argument you have in this departure, this rejection feeling you feel, right? Okay. When's the last time I felt that? Not last time I went through a situation like it. When's the last time I felt that? Oh, when I didn't get that position of that job. All right. When's the last time I felt it before that? Oh, when I didn't get invited to go to that dinner party with those friends. When's the last time I felt it before that? You keep going back and you realize there was all these echoes and ripples of the same emotion till you get back until you're like 7 years old and younger. You'll get back into the original memory where a parent or someone said, you, you, you can't have that. You don't get to go there. No, you have to stay home. We're taking your older siblings. You're too young. What? The rejection. And then that feeling just ripples out because we didn't deal with it because we were told, and don't you cry, you're going to get a whooping, right? Or you better not get, mad or pout or whatever. So we push those emotions down. They've been charged, reverberating. Well, that's the same thing that's with all of us. What T? This feeling of being rejected, people leaving me while he waits for them, goes all the way back, something earlier in the childhood. Like, see, people leave him while he waits for them. So it could be back to their childhood waiting for friends and then finding out they left without him anyway. Or whatever, but it goes back to something like that. So regardless of it's you, them, whoever, it goes way back. Any current ones is just a reverberation of something much further back. Of course, your concern probably, I feel like there's a dual concern that, oh, they care about this old love they had. Is this about them? Because I'm going to be mad, inside. I'm going to be mad if it's about them because it needs to be about me. And then if you think, well, it is about me. Oh, now I feel bad. What are people going to think about me? It's like, okay, let it be someone else. It can't be them or that. Let it be someone else. Wait, who else were they caring about? Who cares, right? You care because of their actions. What does it mean about you, right? We're coming back to that kind of message, right? So that's what they have for that. Hopefully that helps. I don't feel like it's the intention of the human posting that right now was you or Ruparna. It's someone, a different situation completely. All right, let's see here. I feel like we want to go to the everyday miracles for your fortune cookie for this one. All right, here we go. Yeah. Let me remember what my purpose is, right? Child of Creator, child of God. You were created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. Do not forget this. You are a creator. You are a mini creator. You are the one. You're made of creation. You're a mini creator. You're a mini me, and that you are here and have the ability to create beautiful, wonderful things. But you are the creator of your life, and the creator is the co-creator with you, waiting on your energy. You're not on an out of control drama train. You're not in the back of a bus. We talked about all this before, I'm sure. Your energy, you get to decide. You're not at the whim of other people's choices, other people's actions or non-actions, words or non-words, anyone's. Family, friends, lovers, people, whatever, anything in the outside world. It just is information. You're the one at the control seat, so you get to decide what you want. And nobody else, thank goodness. All right. Thank you again, my friend, so much for all your donations. And thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey. We're all learn so much together. And thank you for all your questions, because I'm sure a piece of them resonate with every single one of us. Because there's really nothing new under the sun with all of what humans experience. You know what I mean? So, all right. So many blessings and enjoy. Rest well on the other side of the world there. All right. I was bringing over the first of the free readings So we'll jump into those next. Let me take a quick sip here and we'll dive in. All right, sorry. Drank a little too much there. Started. I think I have a drinking problem. I think it's because I also have a throat lozenge. I'm like drooling. So sorry. All right. So let's jump in. Hey, everybody. If you're enjoying these free readings, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up because it does help spread the Zen love and you're part of the love tsunami. And it tells me that you're enjoying the free readings. I won't threaten you. If I don't get enough likes, I'm stopping free readings. No. It just helps. So thank you for those of you that do. All right. So let's jump in. First of all, morning, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. And you like a general for the upcoming week. So let's take a look here. General for the upcoming week. Okay, that's way too many cards. Let's just give these a shuffle. And thank you guys again for all your patience getting to the free readings. I know a lot of you tried throughout the weekend, and I only got like 4 free readings done this weekend. I'm so grateful for your patience in doing this. I know Sundays are for sure the day you will always get it, so I understand if you wait until Sundays. That's cool. Sometimes we can get them in otherwise, but all right. Look at this. You've got 2 major arcana. You got the Heavenly Master, Heavenly Master, which is the Hierophant. Let's see, try not to have it so bright. There we go. And the Wheel of Fortune. So there is an energy about seeing things from a different perspective, but look at all this yin yang, double yin yang in the middle here. And this is about things changing, perspectives changing, movement, but there definitely is something it is for you because the tune of for you, the for tune, everything always is, but you're human in this case with the Wheel of Fortune even agrees with this change. And it's significant with 2 major arcana. So I do feel like there is a significant change that comes in, but if you can step back and see it from a higher perspective, you'll see how it is in alignment with you there. Is my hat a little crooked? So adjustments. It's more adjustments than the hat completely coming off, right? So this is that kind of energy that I feel coming in. It's significant. And it is an adjustment, but in the long run, you'll see how it was for you. So kind of an encouragement. Just go with the flow. You'll see it. Your human will see it very quickly afterwards going, oh, I see now. Thank you. I see how this helped me. So hopefully that helps, morning. Hang in there. All right. So many blessings for you. All right. And then we have Kritika, which is Maadev Healing Tarot. Hey. So what blessing is coming into your life? Or blessings. Let's see what they have here. Okay. Here's your 2 cards. So you got the Queen of Wands and the 10 of Wands. All right. Well, I like this. There's this stepping into your energy, stepping into your power this next week because, of course, Queen of Wands, she definitely has this empowerment, right? Whatever she puts her focus on, she accomplishes, get out of her way. She also has a special connection with Spirit, being one of the co-rulers over the suit of wands and energy, but also behind the scenes gets cups, right? So the empathic, energetic connection to the spirit world. I saw this little posting on Instagram that talked about the 10 of Wands. It had like a variety of cards. I even wrote them down on a little sticky note. I'm a sticky note person. I have a sticky notes on my computer too, but when I really want to be able to see something, I also write it out because it helps me remember it. But the 10 of Wands was, think of 10 specific things that you could drop. And I feel like this is a blessing because you might be feeling burdened and overwhelmed and feeling like you're being torn in 100 different directions, right? And, of course, this day and age, we feel like everything screams, I'm important and urgent. So we do feel so many different things. Part of the 10 of Wands for me is like creating 3 different buckets. One is, what is truly urgent and important to me is bucket 1. What's truly important to me, but not urgent, bucket 2. And then bucket 3, which is some of these things. What is not important to me, but screaming that it's urgent? What are 10 of those things that you can drop? And that will help you go, you know what? I feel so much more free. I have so much energy to focus on what I feel is truly urgent and important instead of feeling like scattered and pulled in 100 different directions. It's amazing that just dropping those 10 things will feel like so much like you dropped 50 things off that list instead, because a lot of it's looping and it feels like so much bigger. But if you get rid of these things, then you're just like, wow. Sometimes like I'll end up with like 15 different post-it notes and I'll be like, oh, and I just see the stack and I'm like, oh, there's so much to do. And I'll get it and I'll be like, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. That was a good idea, but I don't need to do that. That doesn't align with my true north. So I like that for you. That is a blessing to be able to clear some of that out so you can focus. So I feel like that's the blessing, because in doing that, that helps you move forward. So anyway, that's what they have for you there, Kritika. So many blessings to you. All right. Whoops. All right. And then Patricia, you're up next. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Here we go. There we go. So Patricia, full moon energy message. What does Spirit want you to know? I know, right? This Capricorn full moon energy. What opposites trying to come together, right? Capricorn, such a thinker, such a looking at things from a different perspective, and moon energy, emotion. But Capricorn, think. Yeah, you're feeling all these emotions, but what are you thinking, right? So let's take a look here. Yeah, you do have the Hermit card. So this is an energy of definitely stepping back and connecting to the upper realms and taking time for you to connect. And then you have the universe and the 7 of Cups coming out together, which the universe card, the world card, last card major arcana, with the 7 of Cups is an ending of an old pattern of feeling all of these different emotions. And it is an interesting guidance for this full moon, try to step back, step away from the chaos, step away from a lot of emotional situations, and spend some time with yourself just to get through this moon energy. I feel like a little bit of alone time between now and like Leo season on July 22nd, because as we move out of Cancer season and we move into the sun sign, Leo's ruled by the sun, so we're moving into the sign ruled by the sun, that helps us feel more fire than all that emotional energy, helps steam away and dry up some of that, emotional waters that it's like we've been having in monsoon season, emotionally, with all of this Jupiter going into Cancer and not Cancer full moon, but Sagittarius full moon before, and then a Cancer new moon, and then there was all this other stuff, right? That just is all this focus on emotion. It's like we need the sun to come in to dry up some of the emotions so we can be like, so I feel like they're talking about to end the cycle of being, whoa, I have to do all this stuff, to allow yourself permission to step away and take time for you, so you don't have to feel all that and solve everyone else's problems and emotional situations. It's okay to say no to other people. Put up a boundary. I love it. How to use that at least once. So hopefully that helps, Patricia. That's what they have for you right now, my dear. So many blessings. All right. And then Ateshi Singh, you are up. grab your timestamp here. And you want to know, does H have a sense that you are crushing on him? All right, let's take a look here. You know, from your last reading that they're bringing in, it doesn't seem like they're quite the, they're not quite the aware one. Like if someone was flirting with them or crushing on them or whatever, their friends would be like, dude, don't you see? And they're like, what? You know, I can't say that. There's not, again, I'm not even going to talk about it. But we've got this, it doesn't have to do with you. It has to do with someone that I know that would talk about, for someone, I'm going to just edit it because I can't say it for YouTube, but it's like, let's say it's like, for someone to tell me, to show me that they care about me, for me to get it, they'd have to come up and flash me or something. You'd be like, wow, it has to be really obvious in someone's face. And that makes sense with the Devil card and the Eight of Pentacles. The Devil card is all about Capricorn thinking, not about what? They do what? It's like telling Spock, someone has a crush on you. That does not compute. That's not logical. What are you talking about? And the Eight of Coins, the Eight of Pentacles is about focused on work. And they're like, what? And it's funny, Capricorn Saturn Capricorn energy of the Devil card rolls over the house of work. So they're really focused on work. I don't feel like they get it. That's why I feel like in the reading we got before, I think was about them. They were surprised, like, what? I don't even know how to respond to that because they just don't get it. But that's what's coming in, Ateshi. It sounds like your crushing can be for someone that deserves it. Someone that will appreciate it as well, as how I'll say that instead. All right. So many blessings. That's what they have for you, my dear. Right. And then Day with the jewelry, you are up. And you went, what energy are you giving off? All right. Let's take a look here. I was going to do in general since we didn't ask for a particular person, right? Well, Spirit knows your intention, so we'll see what do you want? Okay, anything else? Oh, just one card. What is this? 10 of Cups. Well, that's a good energy. It's joy. Love, great amount of love, filling up and overflowing with love, with joy, higher vibrational love energy. I do feel that, you're flowing a lot, so much of joy and care and compassion and caring and love, that sometimes your friendliness can be misinterpreted as flirting, and sometimes your flirting can be misinterpreted as just caring, and they don't realize it. Isn't that great? It's like, what are you going to do? But that's the energy I feel is coming in there. Is overall, it's that kind of energy. Just you have a high vibrational emotional energy that you put forward, and you're seen as friendly and loving and giving and caring and joyful. But sometimes, like people, it's going to be a misperception a different perception from everyone, obviously, because everyone sees the world as they are, not as it is. So how people perceive you has really little to do with who you are, but more so what's going on with individuals. But what most people see is that as well. So hopefully that makes sense, Day. That's what they have for that for you. And then Crystal's Day. Are you guys the same person? I always wondered. But anyway, you don't have to tell me. You guys, this usually show up right after one another. So there's this another account, and that's totally cool because that means you're subscribed to me on 2 of your IDs, and that's fine. That helps draw in more love energy, so I don't mind at all. So you'd like a business reading? Let's see what Spirit wants you to know about the business. All right. Nope. Okay, thank you. What else in this one? All right. So, some advice they're giving you around business. You have the Seven of Swords, which has to do with thievery and lying and deceit, but it's not so much about external as it is our stories, these opinions, the voices in our head of the whispers of the past that have limiting beliefs and things that you've been told throughout, especially 14 years old and younger, that are reverberating in there. That is where how these voices come up of, you can't do that, that's going to be too hard, blah blah blah. Could just be told to you once by a teacher or continually from someone, but this voice in your head about, you can do that, you can't do that, that's going to be hard, um, that won't do any good. Question those lower vibrational voices and go, thank you, but no thank you. And you can release those and not allow them to continue to talk in your head. Because the Two of Cups is about emotional choice, and that you get to choose regarding business, whatever you focus on, both your mental energy, your emotional energy, which is the Two of Cups, power of emotional choice, your attraction energy, your focal energy, and then your physical energy. It all is always sending out messages, drawing things in. So if we allow that self-talk to continue to be blah, 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 each time it's sending out lower vibrational energy, drawing things that match that. And because it's difficult to separate our emotions from those things. So we're thinking those things, it's probably sparking emotions to do the emotional soundtrack to that story we're playing in our head. And so we start feeling emotions, and those emotions draw it in. So you see how it can kind of begin to snowball, and here it comes, right? So when we change the stories and we start focusing on higher vibrational stories of unconditional love and gratitude and peace and joy and laughter and play, then the emotions will match that, and our energy will match that, and our physical actions will match that, and then it'll draw it in because our energy will be focusing on that. So I figured that's the advice they give you around business, because it'll make all the difference, because our stories of fear of the future are what push abundance and success, and the things that we feel that we need or want. Need and want energy is also lack energy, which pushes things away. So as we focus in on there, then that allows us to bring in the energy that matches that. So hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you, Crystals Day. So many blessings to you. All right, and then Victoria, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp. So Victoria Uber Ramirez, hello, hello. What's coming towards you this week? All right, let's take a look here. All right, got this and we got this. Yeah. So we've got the Two of Swords and the Three of Swords. So there's a lot of story that's coming your way this week. And what I mean by that is, we make these mental choices about what something means in our lives. And that's the Two of Swords. Is every moment is, a mental choice, an emotional choice, energetic and physical choice. What I talk about that, like probably way, way more than anyone probably would ever want to hear it, but it's proper brainwashing that Spirit's doing for us. You talk about, you think you hear it, I hear it more than all of you do. And it's great because I'm learning. It's like, yes, yes, yes. I get to choose the story in each moment. All these stories of the past, all these opinions that are rooted in the Three of Swords, expectations, equaling disappointment. Those are the small T truths rooted in fear. This should happen. This needs to happen. This isn't happening. Why this? Why that? Lower vibrational stories that are rooted in fear versus higher vibrational stories rooted in gratitude and love and joy and play and all that, right? And it's important because this week is every moment is a choice of story. And I feel like you're really given the opportunity to question the stories that you're regurgitating from the past. If we're not consciously being aware of our story, then we're on autopilot of the old stories that people have said, and we're applying those. And then we're like, ugh, no wonder we feel stressed, right? Because we have all these old stories of fear that are applied to it, of judgment, of this defines you as this means this about you, this means that about you. Instead of questioning and deciding, no, what do I want to apply to this situation? I'm going to apply this story. It's a different story, right? It's funny because as I was shuffling, I had a flashback about play, and I went to a non-denominational, unaccredited Christian high school that our church had created that the state didn't recognize because it was all, it had different curriculum that the state wouldn't recognize and all this kind of stuff, right? And one of the things we did for entertainment and play, because there wasn't a whole lot to do in the lunchroom as we were eating together, if someone had an apple, once they finished the apple and all that was left was the apple core, someone would say to one of their friends, apple core, the others say Baltimore. They say, who's your friend? And they'd say someone's name, and they chunk the apple core at them. And we're like, ah! It was because as soon as you started hearing someone say apple core, you hear Baltimore, you're like, uh-oh, heads up. It was funny, of course, looking back on it now, we're like, oh, that, but we were easily entertained. And there wasn't a whole lot to do, but it was playful. And that's the kind of thing they're talking about is we can choose play, we can choose laughter. Why are we being so serious? But you are faced with a lot of opportunities to either take on an old story and or look at how you can reapply and have a new story. So apple core, Baltimore, Victoria, who's your friend? Don't say Brett is Zen. All right. So laugh a lot this week, I feel, is their advice. A lot of opportunities to look at things with a different viewpoint and story. All right, so that's what they have for you, my dear. Many blessings. Let me bring some more of these over. Thank you guys again so much for all your patience in getting to your readings. We're getting there. All right, there we go. So let's start with the next little set here. So Lydia, you are up. Let's give you your timestamp here for my note later. And Lydia, little hand shaking. You'd like to know what your guides would like you to know and what you need the most right now. All right, so let's take a look here. One card for what your guides want you to know and what you can use the most of. What your guides want to know with the 8 of Coins is you are in transformation. You have been putting in the work. It's a caterpillar going into the cocoon and transforming, letting pieces of you fall away, moving into the butterfly. And so you have been putting in the work. You are seeing the fruits of your labor. You might feel a little uncomfortable as things are in this mode of change. And I feel like they're just hang in there. You'll understand. And you'll get comfortable with this feeling lighter because it feels like things are falling away. And at first you're like, get that back. It felt so comfortable, but it's like these are things that are weighing you down. But some things might feel comfortable because they've been with us for so long, not because they're healthy, just because they've been with us for so long. We're used to it that it's like, oh, don't take that away. But when we do, at first it feels weird, but then we get used to it and we feel the freedom of it, right? So I feel like they want you to know that what you need most right now with the 5 of Cups is realizing your power of emotional choice. The 5 of Cups is a transformational energy of emotion, but usually it's someone focusing on sorrow, focusing on the 3 spilt cups, while behind them is the 2 cups of the power of emotional choice. And they're like, what you need to know really right now, what's like what you need right now, the most right now, is emotional power, right? And realizing that there is no wrong choice. There's just different choices with different outcomes and different experiences. And when you're, what's great about the Two of Cups is when you realize that you're not stuck in feeling a certain way, that you always have a choice to feel differently if you want to, even a different lower vibration. If I'm feeling sadness, well, I'm ready to feel anger. Well, then feel anger. There's no wrong. But when you're tired of feeling lower vibration and you're ready to feel higher vibration, you have that second cup you can choose from. 1 cup of lower vibration, 1 cup of higher vibration. Whatever you want to taste, you take a sip of, right? And then you can do that. So I feel like that is what they are wanting you to know more so right now in your life. So hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Ashish, you are up next. Grab your timestamp. So Ashish Balkaran. I probably murder that every time, and I say this every time. So my apologies again. So will you get your own home? You're living with your parents and you have your own independent. Okay. So let's look at it. Sorry, let me quench my cough drop here. So based on your current energy, will you get your own home? I want this one too. Wow, yes. You have the Sun card, which is one of the most brilliant, abundant, fulfilling cards. And then the Fool card, which is the ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, freedom, endless possibilities. So I do feel like this is a success energy that you will. The Sun card's been coming out a lot, which is Leo season. I feel like you'll get a lot of clarity around this during Leo season, which is July 22nd to around August 22nd. You know, I've been saying it over and over. I got a book right here. Daily Planetary. Let's see here. I know it's July 22nd for sure, at least in my time zone. And then when do we move into... Yeah, Sun enters Virgo. Yeah, 22nd, August 22nd. So between 7/22 and 8/22, July 22nd, August 22nd, you're going to get a lot of clarity around the journey there. But even you got the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom, which is another fortunate card. So I definitely feel like you will get to be in your own residence and be off to yourself. And they're going to get some information, some clarity around that during that month period. Right. So that's what you have, Ashish. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we got Hot Sun coming in. Hey, Hot Sun. Excuse me. Goodness. All right. So you want to know, what are E's energies towards you? And the bottom of the deck, his communication is still spotty. Interesting. How does that apply to your communication with yourself? How consistent are you in speaking with your higher self and connecting with your inner self? How often are you checking in with your own heart and your own relationship with yourself? It's just a side. That's a freebie. But something to look at there, because it is a reflection. Everything we see in the outside world is a reflection somehow of how we have something going on within our own self, right? So let's take a look here. What are E's energies? And the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Two of Coins, Two of Pentacles. So there you go. And then the E's energies towards you do have the Five of Wands and the Judgment card, Confucius. So, of course, Confucius, the Judgment card, is this desire or this draw to see things from a higher perspective, a lot of clarity. It's even calling. What am I here for? What am I going through for life? The Five of Wands, is an energy of conflict, usually between the head and the heart, which, again, that's spottiness, right? When the heart has its way, it's texting you, quick, before the mind wakes up. And then the mind goes, what are you doing? Because the mind is like, you don't need to do that. Zap, and pulls the phone back or whatever, right? because the mind is where the rules of fear are, and caution, and don't do that. We can't go do that. That's scary. You're going to get burnt up by the hot sun. But that's the conflict that's going on inside of him, right? But this draw to see things differently is there, but it's still, with that Five of Wands, they're still conflicted. The Two of Pentacles is an energy of, balance and cycles, more so cycles, I feel, with them, because it's like, drawing close, pulling away, drawing close, pulling away, in their heart, in their head, in their heart, in their head. And you're just like, can I pause? It's like, you wish you could have a controller over other people's lives, but we don't have any control over anyone else's lives, only our own. But if there is a repetitive cycle going on that we're noticing, yep, it's about us too. What cycle is repeating within me? What am I repeating? What am I not pausing? What am I continually going back and forth on? Is it me being drawn to them and then being drawn away? Maybe I'm doing the same, and they see us doing it, going, look at how they're so unpredictable, and look at their cycle. They don't see their own. Same with us. Look at the cycle they're doing. Have you ever had people that were like, gosh, this person's always late to everything. I can't believe it. And you're like, you're talking about being late? What do you mean? You're late to everything. What? Yes. No. Yeah. What time did you get here today? Well, but there was what about that last night? Well, there was always an excuse, but you're always late. And they're like, whatever, because they don't want to see the mirror, right? But isn't it amazing that all of us humans, we're like, look at the mirror, haha, look at the funny monkey, and you're like, oh, wait, that's a mirror, that's me. Anyway, that's what they have for you, Hot Sun. Hopefully that helps. All right, Faith and Love, you are up next. Let's grab your timestamp here. There we go. Faith and Love, hello. So will you be in a long-term romantic relationship by this fall? So before fall hits, which is what, September 22nd? So in the next 2 months, let's take a look here. Will you be in a long-term romantical relationship by this fall based on current energies? Nope, I don't want those. Let me shuffle these up here. All right, let me take a sip too. Let's just refresh energy here. All righty. So, long-term romantic relationship. Well, I got 3 here. Let's see here. I don't feel like you'll be in one. We got the Fool card, which is a new adventure, free of expectations. And then you have the Magician card, which that's the 0, first card of the Major Arcana. And then the Magician card is the next one. But you have the Queen of Coins, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, nurturing yourself. I feel like there's a birthing of something here between now and fall in the next 2 months. So there is a new beginning kind of energy that's here. It doesn't feel like it's like in a relationship. It's like the beginning of the beginnings of one. I'm just going to pull one quick clarifier. What about in the month? Not in the month, but what about in fall? Confucius, not yet. In the fall season, there is some clarity that comes in, but I don't feel like you're in one by fall. It just feels like there's the beginnings of an adventure. There's clarity that's coming in. There's a lot of nurturing, and sensuality with the Queen of Pentacles and birthing, because all this new birth energy, but it's not, I don't feel the energy of that you're in a long-term romantic relationship. I feel like you're at the beginnings of introductions into eventually forming a relationship. They're so well, you were so specific, they're being so specific back, which we appreciate. It's like, okay, so it's just basically you're meeting someone that can lead to, based on that zero, no expectations, when the energy you're putting in with the magician, the focus of the energy you're putting on yourself and nurturing yourself, that it can lead to a long-term romantic relationship. But I feel like there's a lot of other stuff that's going on between now and fall, and then within the fall season, based on current energy, of course. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Faith and love. So many blessings to you. Right, Mika Khan, you are up. So Mika, let's get your timestamp here. You want to know, why is your account getting rejected? If you create another account, will another email, with another email, will it be approved? All right, let's take a look here. So what is behind this? Why are you getting rejected? And then if you create another account, another email, being sneaky, will that work? Let's take a look. Look at you. Got Heavenly Master. You got the reason here with the Hierophant is an energy of, it's the major arcana number of change. The change is happening. Clarity. I feel like there's some sort of changes that have happened in guidelines or programming. It doesn't feel personal, you know. I mean, it might feel personal to you, but what I'm saying is, I don't feel like the energy coming is that it's specific to you. I feel like it's impacting a lot of different people, because it feels like a significant change was made, and so it's blocking things. If you use a different account, will it be approved? You have the Four of Swords, peace of mind, and it feels like that's a stable energy, stable communication. It feels solid. So I feel like that feels like an affirmative for there. So just feel like it has something to do with the type of account, information that's connected to all of that, that it just kind of is locked into something that's going on. So if you kind of start fresh, I feel like it avoids the construction zone, and it goes a different way. It's almost like a conversion thing that it just doesn't. Sometimes, like in technology and stuff, something just gets locked in a loop, and they can't get it out of it. Starting fresh can sometimes just be good, and it is happening for you for a reason. So maybe a new account will bring you a different type of experience too. But yeah, I feel like that is what they have for you there. So hopefully that helps, Mika. So many blessings to you. Right, and then Monica, you are up next. Let's grab your timestamp here. So Monica Bala, I'm probably totally mispronouncing that. My apologies. So you want to know, when will you get married, your partner's characteristics, how your life will be after marriage. All right, let's take a look here. I know. Let's see what we can get from Spirit regarding this. Let's see here. Okay, let's see if they'll tell us when and characteristics, and then how will your life be after the marriage. Okay. So based on current energies, when will you get married and partner characteristics? I feel like here they're focusing on more of the when here, because the Five of Cups is when we let go of some lower vibrational emotions, it allows us to transform, and that vibration will then draw you guys together, because it's all about ranges. And right now I feel like they're saying that there is some strong emotional lower vibrational energies, whether it's sorrow, resentment, anger, feelings of lack, unworthiness. You know what low vibration emotions feel like? They feel like crap, right? You're like, and there can be even some below the surface too, some things that are weighing you down. And this Five of Cups is transforming those and making the power of emotional choice of I'm going to consciously choose to feel happier, choose joy and conditional love and laughter and play and gratitude and peace. And that energy helps draw them in sooner. I just feel like it's far enough off that they're saying that it's important to focus in on that. Because even going, when am I going to get married? Is an energy. It's a lack energy. It's a lower vibrational energy. It's a want and need energy, to where we can look at it and go, okay, what am I grateful for in this moment? And we can ask Creator once, I'd like to get married. And then we ask once. Creator has an amazing memory. You don't need to ask every single day and a lot, just once. It's like a little kid nagging their parent, an unforgetful parent who will remember it always. I know, but they're not impatient like our human is, but just ask once. The rest time is gratitude for what love we have in our life. Doesn't have to be romantic love, even any romantic love we have had in the past. We can focus in on, I'm grateful for that experience and that experience and that experience. Any experiences of love are really what we want to focus on and be thankful for. And that draws in more of that. I feel like emotional choice is an important thing because they're like, it's such an important thing to realize before you get into a relationship and marriage, because otherwise it's just going to make it harder, when we're focused on choosing what's not happening, focusing on expectations and that lower vibration. We're going to be growing that, and then that just causes conflict. We don't want that type of relationship, right? We've done this before, you know. We're ready for higher vibration. I feel like that's what they want you to focus on right now. And then once you do find someone, what is life after marriage? Yeah, then you can have a joyful 10 of Cups. If you don't do this, what we talked about, you can't have the 10 of Cups because we're focused on lower vibration. And when you're miserable, then the relationship is miserable. The other person's miserable, the relationship. But you get to choose your emotion. I feel like that's what they're really focusing in right now. They didn't want to give you partner characteristics. They don't want to give you a whole lot of other things because they're like, that's distraction for you right now. What's most important to move you faster toward there? They're like, what would you want us to do? Tell you all this information that will slow down you meeting them, or tell you limited information for right now and something that will help you fast track to get to them? We're like, yeah, that. Well, that's what they're showing you, is that emotional choice is your power, and you can release old emotions that don't serve you anymore. Realize every moment you're making an emotional choice. No one can make you feel any way. You get to choose how you feel. And stepping into that power and that awareness is what, I feel like they want you to know right now. So hopefully that helps, right? So many blessings to you. Hang in there. All right. And then we have Lucky, Lucky, Lucky. You are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So Lucky, your question referring to RESPECT and trust, referring to respect and trust as you teach us. Okay. Would you confirm for you if a type of special connection with Scott where beginning stages of a new relationship for you might develop? Okay. Okay, so based on current energies with Scott. All right, tell us. Okay, thank you. All right, two major arcana. You do have the Hanging Ghost, which is the Hanged Man in regular tarot, and the Emperor energy. Hanged Man is a transformational energy. So I don't feel, you know, it's a, because I'm asking, I'm so sorry. How long was I out for? I'm all chatting with them up here. So because that feels like, the hanging ghost is like a cocoon, caterpillar enters the cocoon and then transforms and turns into a butterfly. They're like the caterpillar is finding the branch for which to attach the cocoon to. Very, very, very early beginning stages. That's coming in here, right? The emperor, because there's just so much possibility here. They're still looking for the branch for transformation, right? But this emperor energy is Aries energy. It is the first sign of the zodiac. So baby, beginning energy. But the emperor also is in that indecision where they're trying to decide what they want for the empire. And a lot of the advisors, self-appointed advisors, everyone around them, telling them the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be, blah, 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 blah. They're like, clear the throne room. What do I want? And it's deciding what is it that I truly want. They're deciding what they truly want. And then once we decide from our heart what we really want, not from the mind, then we put a plan together, then we put action behind it. So it does feel like it's at the very, 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 very early beginning stages with so many possibilities that I don't see we're not getting a clear picture of it all, because there's a lot of things that haven't been decided. And when you look at the whole map of all the possibilities, the path that you guys are on can go into like 100 different ways, and depending on the decisions that are made. And so they're like, well, kind of too early to tell, if that makes sense, right now. So what advice would they give you with these is to go with the flow, know that what's meant for you won't pass you by. If anything's fated, it won't pass you by. In a world of possibilities, this is one possibility for you. I don't get fatedness between the two of you. I don't feel like you have a fated relationship, meaning when you look at the map of all the pathways you could go, there's not like one huge person there that you're going to end up with. It's like, if you go this direction, you end up with this person. If you go this direction, you end up with this one. If you go this direction, you end up with this one, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So in this lifetime, some lifetimes we do have a fated, like we make an agreement. Yep. No matter what, we're going to end together. Just it's a matter of when. This lifetime, it's like, well, it depends on what decisions you make, who you end up with. There's not a fated one. There's a few possibilities of people that you'd end up with. But I feel like this one is still, there's roads that lead to other places yet, that you could choose. So they're kind of like, it's too early to tell. So hopefully that helps. I just didn't want to tell you it's too early to tell. Bye. I want to be able to see the picture that was in my head. So hopefully that helps, Lucky, for right now. We can always check again and keep checking, because as decisions are made by you and by them, then we can find more clarity, right? Eventually it'll get whittled down to the path will be more clear. So yeah. Right. So hang in there. Many blessings to you. Sorry, just trying to bring over, here we go, some more of the readings here. All right. Let me take a quick sip here. All right. Sorry. All right. So moving forward, we have Pooja. You are up. Let me grab your timestamp here. So Pooja R. So would you confirm for you when your health issues will be over? Okay. Looks like I have a couple health questions in a row here. So just a disclaimer, check out the disclaimer in the description box of the video. I'm not, of course, a licensed medical professional here in the United States. We just have to say that tarot is for fun. It's for entertainment purposes. And ultimately, everyone makes their own decisions. Always seek professional assistance, of course. And then, of course, I do not accept any liability for anyone else's choices. Because I believe in the power of choice. Everyone else has their own choices, but also legally, no liability. All right. So, Puja, let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know here around your health? When will your health issues be over? Based on current energies. All right. So you do have a new journey here ahead with the Fool card, which is the ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. I like this because there is a possibility with this that your health issues can transform. I like the Three of Wands. Looks like you're throwing away crutches. I'm letting them go. But the Three of Wands is about, with new information, taking a different route, you choosing to go a different direction. So I do feel like there is action to be taken on your part here. One of the things I always recommend looking at is like so much of our health issues are emotionally based, because so many of our issues in our human body are stress related, which is fear related, which is an emotion, which can come down to an emotional belief. A great book is You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. You don't have to buy it. It's a great book. I highly recommend it. It's been around for decades. You can probably get it at a used bookstore really, really cheap. But you can also search online, like emotional and spiritual reasons for, and put your symptoms or put the, diagnosis or whatever, or both. Put the symptoms, then do this diagnosis separately. See what resonates, because sometimes realizing what the emotional core of it is helps us heal physically. Because when our emotional child and mental inner child, when they're trying to get our attention, if we don't pay attention to them, the teenage self, which is our human body, will get involved and go, I'll get their attention for you. Because our emotional body is created 7 years old and younger. Our mental body is 7 to 14. Our physical teenage inner child body is 14 to 21. So they're all three they're separate, but they all feel very connected. And that teenager will speak up for the inner children. If we don't listen to them, that's when our body gets involved. So I do feel like if you look at that and understand the root to those things, that you're able to make different changes and alter things in your life to help with that too. But I do feel like in order to have that restart and that reboot and the end of a cycle, there are changes that you need to make, both emotionally, but also feels like some physical things that need to be different too. You can listen to music. I don't know, what all the things are, but getting out into nature, getting away from the chaos, changing our mindsets, letting old mindsets that don't serve go, old emotions that don't serve go, energy that doesn't serve anymore go, physical things, release with all of that. So I feel like those are important for you right now. With those, that's enough to start with. There's probably more, like where we focus our energy and all sorts of stuff, but I feel like that's a good start for you right now. So hopefully that helps a little bit, Pooja. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Lucky 1111, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So as I said earlier, disclaimer in the description box down below, I am not a licensed medical professional. Of course, seek medical and professional assistance in making all decisions regarding health or anything in life. These are for entertainment purposes only. Tarot is for fun. I accept no liability. All right. I have to say it again in case you weren't listening earlier. All right. So, Lucky, you want to know when will your health issues be over? All right. Let's see what they have here. Excuse me. All right. Got these two. And you have the Seven of Cups and the Strength card. Well, I love the Strength card coming in. is this beautiful Leo energy, which is Leo season is coming up here, July 22nd to August 22nd. And so I do feel like with that inner strength that you do have the ability to overcome some health issues with that. The Seven of Cups does bring us back, like we were talking about in the previous reading, about emotions. Seven of Cups is like emotional obstruction that's causing physical harm. And as I was talking about, you might even just rewind and listen to Pooja's reading right before you. I talk about some stuff in there already. Around Louise Hay, she has a great book, Searching the Internet on Emotional and Spiritual Reasons for. Put your symptoms and then a separate search for your diagnosis. And to see what resonates and where you're being drawn to, because it'll help you identify that. I talk about the inner children, how they interact, but eventually things on the inside, if we don't deal with them, make it to our outside body. And that will bring a lot of understanding into that so that we can free ourselves from a lot of things and to bring great awareness and help. But I feel like that you do have the inner strength. I feel like if you do these things, that Leo season can be a transformational season for you. And yeah, I don't feel like there's more to add to that. It feels like both, and it's not I mean, the way that your guys' question is written, it's almost like almost the same. And so I feel like there is if you're not the same person, there's very much listening to their reading, I feel like will help you as well. We went a little bit deeper into it. I won't repeat it all, because if you just listen to theirs, because you guys have such the same, they got similar-ish cards, but yours is more specific about Leo season and the Seven of Cups. Sevens being blockage and cups being emotions. There's a lot of emotional things that can be released to help release things in your physical body too. So hopefully that helps there, Lucky. That's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. All right. And Libier Bagata, hello, my dear. Let's grab your timestamp here. And you'd like to ask, which option will Harry solve this year, A or B? Which one will be sooner? All right, let's take a look here. So we'll pull a card for A, pull a card for B, see what energy comes in. This is A and this is B. So A, we have the Three of Coins. And B, we have the Six of Staves, the Six of Wands. So Six of Wands is a victory energy, a flow energy. So I feel like B will be solved this year and sooner. The Three of Pentacles is about being true to one's authentic self, which involves community and getting other people involved. And I feel like A would be more, he has to be more creative with it. But I also feel like he's a bit more stubborn in being true to, I want to do it this way. That's why it takes longer, because it has to be my way. But the B feels like a more flowing, victorious energy that comes in with that. So hopefully that helps, Livier. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Right. And Maria P. Hello. Thank you for your donations earlier today and this weekend. I appreciate that. Let's get your timestamp in here. Okay, there we go. All right. And a general for you and Wally. What a surprise. Oh my gosh. Think you're obsessed with Wally or something. I don't know. What is this all about? Let me move back here. Falling off my chair. All right, let's take a look here. A general for you and Wally. All right, let's shuffle these up here. Okay, that one and this one here. All right. Yeah, we got the Knight of Stabs, the Knight of Wands coming in here. Passion, passion, passion. Um, you also have the Nine of Swords, which is fears. It's the nightmares and insomnia. And it's the energy that we put toward expectation. Well, you had to get that sometime today. I don't know if we talked about it in your other ones. I'd be surprised if we didn't. We probably did. But it's interesting. I'm not sure if we talked about the Nine of Swords. Something that you can do. It's like this is taking some action toward your worries. With the Nine of Swords, I found this great little Instagram post that was talking about different things you can do with different cards. And the few that they mentioned, one was the Nine of Swords. I wrote it down because I was like, that's really interesting. Writing down 9 specific things you worry about. And I think this will do you some good. You get homework. Ha ha. I'm just kidding. If you choose, this is a good thing for any of us to do. If we feel worried about something and we're concerned about something, either about what, who, when, where, why, blah, 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 write down the 9 things I'm worried about with that situation. So with you and Wally, write down the 9 things that you worry about. Put them down in writing, burn it if you have to. But I feel like it's journaling it, getting it out so you can see it and going, these are the things I'm worried about. Then you can ask yourself, why am I worried about this? What's at the core of this? What's the worst thing that could happen if this did happen? Would I be okay eventually? Yeah. I think writing them down and seeing it would really help you. So I feel like that's what they want for you to know right now. If you so wish to choose, you can do some homework. All right. So many blessings to you, Maria, and enjoy that. All right. Mars, you are up. Hey, Mars. So you've been connecting with your ancestors recently. How fun. Interestingly enough, you feel like we can learn from each other and have had similar life paths. We'll call them Sir H. Is it okay to connect with them more? Oh, yeah. We'll get cards here, but the spirit realm, they can be everywhere all at once, 100% present. So they're like, absolutely, you're not going to interrupt me. A piece of spirit is always with us, and we have access to everything in that moment. There's no time or space. So they're like, sure, I've got all the time in eternity. Contact me as much as you want. Let's see what they want you to know here regarding this. You have the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Cups. Yeah. In fact, with the Queen of Cups, so Ace of Cups, Queen of Cups, let's talk about that first. Ace of Cups is about happiness and joy. They're like, they'd be ecstatic to connect with them more. The Queen of Cups energy, this is, she rolls over cup suit, gets a second portion of cups. She's very empathic, very psychic, very connected to the spirit world, but it's also my card of past lifetimes. I feel like with Sir H that you guys, not as Sir H, and obviously not as your current self, but you guys have had other expressions that you've had, meaning other lifetimes together, and you've known each other. That's why there's this connection. That's why you feel this similar life paths, and you said have had similar, but you also have had other paths together, lifetimes together. That's why you have this special emotional bond with them too. So they're like, absolutely. You can even find out more about your past lives together in other, other expressions, other dimensions. But if you want to know more about humanity, you can definitely, check in with that past life connection with them. And of course, if you're interested in any past life readings, I do offer those. Those are down in the description box. But with your abilities, I mentioned you already dive into the Akashic records. You can go wander and peruse and go, tell me more about what lifetimes did we have together? Because I feel like there were several. And you can find out about that deep connection that you guys have. So I like that for you, Mars. That's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. right. And let me just see here. Okay. And we have CJ. You're at 2 hours exactly. All right. And you'd like a general reading. Let's take a look here, CJ. What does Spirit want you to know right now? Okay, we got this one. What else? Nope. Oh, here. Knew there was one. All right. So you do have this ending and beginning energy that's coming in here. You have the 10 of Pentacles and you have the World card. They call it the Universe card. It's the last card in the Major Arcana, which does signal the ending of one and the beginning of a whole new adventure, starting back at 0 with the full card. 10 of Coins too. 10 is the number of endings and beginnings. Pentacles is specifically about the outside world, but I feel like you've reached the culmination of what you needed to, and now you're beginning like a new chapter in your life in regards to the outside world. I feel like you have been doing a lot of mental endings and beginnings, a lot of emotional endings and beginnings, energetic endings and beginnings, but now it's making its way out into the final place that things get impacted, because we change from the inside out, not the outside in. So all this that's been happening in here is now becoming to fruition or being expressed into the outside world. So you're going to be having these changes, but they're not going to be anything that you're like, oh my God, because you've been changing so much inwardly. That outward change, you're like, yeah. So I expected that. I knew it was going to make its way out there, but here it comes, and it's for you. It's a victory energy. Both the 10 of Pentacles and the World card is victory, feeling like you've reached a level and now you're ready to start a new one. Not like, oh, the world's falling apart. It's, I've accomplished, I've reached it. Now I'm ready for my new adventure, right? It's like climbing up a giant cliff to get onto the next, phase of the continent or whatever. You've gotten up there, and now it's like they're showing me Scotland. I think it's Scotland or Ireland. It's one of the ones that's on the coast that has the cliffs and then the green pastures, and then you go inland into all the towns and stuff. It's like you made it up the cliffs and now you're headed in. So I like that for you, CJ. Hopefully that resonates there for you. That's what they have. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Ankita, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So Ankita Moore, 1111, 1111. Hi. So guidance for the month of July. What does Spirit want you to know for July? All right. They do want this one and they do want this one. All right. Take a sip here. All right. Well, I just put this card back in. It came flying back out. And you have the Ace of Swords. So the Universe card, the World card, last card in the Major Arcana, and the Ace of Swords, there's a lot of clarity coming in here. And, this endings and beginnings, culmination. Just kind of sitting in this energy, because the Ace of Swords, it does feel like not only a new thought and belief and mindset and seeing things differently and getting a lot of clarity, it's also the suit of speech, writing, communication too. So I feel like there's going to be some communication coming in, but I just feel like all this stuff is bringing you to a new phase, a new place in your life. I don't know if you've been wanting to write a book, write a blog, communicate somehow, but I feel like you've reached this place in your life where everything you learned in this circle that you're ready to share, and that can help others, where your pages of, like from your survival manual can also be pages in other people's survival manual. It's not like they're, your survival manual fits anyone's specific life. It's but different pages from your survival manual can help other people with theirs. And I feel like that is this transition and this change that's coming in here. This is what they're just nudging you towards, is sharing your stories in whatever way feels most right for you. Don't do, well, I guess this is what you have to do. It's like, how do you want to do it? Through song, through art, through speech, through writing, whatever you want to do. I feel like it needs to be shared. Or no needs to be, that's expectation, but can be shared if you want to. And I feel like that's the guidance they're giving you, is realizing that you have really learned a lot and overcome a lot. So celebrate that, but also you can share it too. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Hopefully that helps a little bit. All right, let's bring here. Let's see. I might be able to bring all the rest over here. Let's see here. We're getting there, everybody. Hang in there. If you're enjoying the free readings, make sure to give a little thumbs up. It does help spread the Zen love, and you're part of the love tsunami. And I definitely appreciate all of those of you that do that. Yep, I think we're going to be able to get the last one down here. All right. So, Cat Goddess, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Hello, you'd like to know, what does your spirit guide or guides and even your higher self want you to know right now? So what does your posse, your spiritual posse, what do they want you to know right now? They do want that one. Oh, and they do want this one. Okay. What do they want you to know? The wait is worth it, is what they want you to know. There you go. That's it. Have a good one. No, I'm just kidding. You got the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man. Both of these major arcana. They call it the hanging ghost. The hangman is like being in the cocoon, taking the time to fully turn into the butterfly. It's worth the wait to become a butterfly from a caterpillar's perspective. While they're falling apart and becoming caterpillar juice to transform from a caterpillar to a butterfly, may not like it at that moment. This feels uncomfortable. Ew, I'm goo. What's going on? But then when they're like, oh, look at my beautiful wings and what I can fly. Oh my gosh, I can go great distances. I can go over places I've never gone before. The Wheel of Fortune is the tuna for me. I understand that things are unfolding and the time that it's taking is for me. And I can see that it is worth the wait. And this is what they're telling you here, that it's worth the transformation. It's worth the space that you have to go through, the experiences to experience, because they are growing pains. They are opportunities to change and transform. But it definitely is worth the wait. So that's what they're wanting you to know here, is enjoy the process, go with the flow, be still, be here now. Don't jump into the future. We get impatient. That's lack energy. It actually pushes it further away and makes it take longer to get here than it does to, the other direction. So hopefully that helps. That's what they have right now for you, Cat Goddess. So many blessings to you. All right. All right, and we have Soloni Doka. You are up next. Let's grab your timestamp. Okay, I got it there. So you want to know Varun's current feelings for you. All right, let's take a look here. What are B's current feelings for you? Okay, got these two here. Well, they are more of a thinker than a lover at this moment. You got the Temperance card and the Ace of Swords. Swords is the mental suit. It's new thought, clarity, seeking clarity of the mind. Temperance is slow moving. It's the alchemy. It is movement, but it's slow movement. And it feels like their emotions are on pause or muted with them, because their brain is going, no. We need to look at things and give time. So there's this energy of, my mind needs to trust you before I'll let my heart out of the cage. If that makes sense. It may not make sense, but does it make sense that that's where they're at. And it has to do with pain and things they experienced when they were younger that made the mind very protective of their heart. So they're not allowed to feel things quickly. They need consistency. They need to see who someone is. They need periods of time to gain and gather information before they move forward. So the emotions do feel paused, but they're gathering a lot of information in the brainiac, the noodle up here. So obviously there's emotion somewhere in there. Otherwise, we wouldn't be getting that message that the heart is being held in a cage. Otherwise, it would be like, no, I have no feelings for you, or these are the feelings. But the mind is going, no, 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 no. No one needs to see that yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to let the heart out. So that's what's going on, at least right now. So hopefully that helps a little bit there, Saloni. So many blessings to you. All right, Jojo. So Johanna, you are up next for your free reading. Thanks to you for your donation earlier. And you want to know here, do we communicate in dream time sometimes with M? So do you? I'm like, I don't. Let's see if you do. I'm just being funny. I'm trying to be funny. I'm being funny on the inside. Whether you think it's funny or not, that's your world, not mine. Let's shuffle these up here. All right. So dream time with M. All right, here we go. And this one. I like the Seven of Swords. You battle. You battle in dream time. And the Chariot. So the Chariot card is, of course, Cancer, moon energy. So I feel like you do, not with, of course, not with the human character, them, but I feel like with your higher selves, you guys do chat and coordinate. And I like the Seven of Swords, like we battle. Just as a joke, but I feel like they say that with these two sevens, the seven being the Chariot card and then the Seven of Swords. But I feel like it is around full moon energy when it's at its max. It opens up to allow you guys to communicate. Or when each month when the moon is in Cancer, it opens up a portal where you guys are extra. It's almost like it opens up a cloud for you guys to meet on, and you guys make it like a regular thing. It's like, yeah, on the Cancer moon, we will go and visit each other. At least the space. It's like if you ever watched Harry Potter, when they had the room created itself for the period when they were creating that group to battle against things, but it created a room because there was a need. Well, that's what happens here. It creates the space for you guys to meet every full moon and every 2 or 3 day period when the moon moves into Cancer each month too. So interesting that you guys do that, but it's not with your human, not your human Jojo with the human M. It's of course the higher selves that get together to chat about the experiences, because you guys have had past lifetimes together, so you guys hang around anyway. But it allows you to have this, because it's your higher selves, but it's also the astral projection of your human self, which is different from our human consciousness, right? It's our subconsciousness entity, but it's not so much like the big higher self, which is all knowing. It's like this, the ghost of our human character is what they're calling it. That's funny, but you know what I'm trying to say, so I don't need to explain it anymore. You're like, I got it. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Aditi, you are up next. Let's grab your timestamp here. Oops. All right. And you'd like to get a reading. Current feelings of your partner for you. There's a no contact situation. All right. All right. What else on this one? So what are their current feelings happening here? They're in a bit of a mood. Are you sure you want to know, like, in this moment? You're like, yeah, all right. Take a deep breath, Aditi. Come back to here now. But we've got the Five of Wands, which is big conflicting energy, and the Death card, which is seeking an ending, right? The Five of Wands is the conflict between head and heart. Our heart, of course, cares for you, but their mind, the fears, that flight mode is what they're really in. That's where the Death card comes in, because we want to end things because we fear. Because when our little inner child feels unsafe and out of control, we will either hiss and attack, hiss and run away, or hiss and attack and then run away. But they're in the runaway mode, right? Obviously, no contact, they're pulled back. And that's what they're doing because they're in fear. This fearing energy, this conflict energy has them in this place right now with their energy. So there's nothing you can do with that. Just know that everything that unfolds, of course, is happening for us. And so what I get to, I wanted this experience to happen for me. I know that's hard to hear when we're still in the pains of it all, right? Because I know when I faced my relationships ending and stuff, it was post all of them. And then, but even when they said, you wanted to experience them cheating on you, and I'm like, what? Why would I want to do that? They're like, excuse me? No, they didn't say that. They're like, come here, boo-boo. You did, are you ready to hear it? And I'm like, not yet. Okay. And then I can come back later and they're like, are you ready to hear it now? Okay, I'm ready to hear it now. And then we understood why I wanted to experience those things, to free myself from things. They were all my teachers showing me what I wanted to see about myself until I saw it. So the partner, the no contact, is for you to reflect on yourself. All of this that you're feeling on the inside of you is happening inside of you. Your emotions, your stories that are coming through this interaction, your energies, it's all for you to really understand what's bubbling below the surface that's bringing up all these fears, so I could be free from these. Then once you're able to look through that, then you don't need the classroom of separation and no contact. They'll either contact you again or you won't care anymore and go, I'm glad you're not contacting me anymore. I'm moving this way, right? So we change as we go on the other side of that. But that's what I feel like is important for you to know right now. So hopefully that helps. All right, so many blessings to you. All right, and then SUDESHNA GHOSH. Hello for your free reading. Thank you so much for all your multiple donations over all these sessions. I'm so grateful. And I'm excited to see what's this one about here. You want to know what changes are coming after July 22nd? Oh, yeah, right? After Leo season. So if you do those things they talked about, right? That's where this is originating from, is because they talked about Leo season and that you have, if you choose, right? That whole thing they're showing me, they're bringing back to my memory right now, is that you are to do some things now. And then if you choose on July 22nd to let the sorrow end, let the mourning period go for that relationship, and if you choose to start new, this is what comes after that. If you don't, it's a different outcome. So this is based on you doing those changes and making that decision. So let's take a look here. Yeah. So it comes after that. You do have the Empress card, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, a lot of nurturing of yourself, a lot of harvest and beginnings. The Queen of Swords is the balance between head and heart. You get this feeling that comes in here. But there is this birthing that comes forward. I feel like Leo season is you stepping into your own power, making decisions for you. Um, and I like this energy because you're becoming, it's like the Queen of Swords is like finding a perfect compatible person, and that person is you. You're realizing I'm my own best friend. I'm the true love I've been looking for all along. Once I find that, then I can share my life with someone. Um, but I feel like this is the big thing, is what happens after this is this freedom, this nurturing, this birthing, but this definitely I feel like a connection of stepping into the power of you. And I like that balanced feeling that comes in with you there. So if you do those things, I feel like that's the beginning of those things. So that's what they have for you, Sudeshna. So many blessings to you. Let me move the rest of these up here where I can see them better. There we go. All right. So Touch of Love, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp. So hello, my friend. So let's see. Will I ask Spirit if the person that you're thinking about, or we're thinking about, will you guys come back together with a spiritual connection? Okay. Take a look here. That's number one. And then, does the person feel the connection the way you feel your connection? So based on current energies, will you guys come back together with a spiritual connection? You have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is like a dream come true energy. So that feels like an affirmative. Does the person feel your connection the way you feel your connection? Nine of Staves, Nine of Wands. Not quite. And the Nine of Cups is emotionally, I feel like you can come back together in an emotional connection, which leans, kind of spills over into a little spiritual connection. But I feel here with the Nine of Wands that they have a bit of a barrier between them and connecting more to the spiritual realm in the way that you do, and feeling that spiritual connection between the two of you. Because I don't feel like there's a block that they have that keeps them from experiencing it like you do. At least right now, based on current energy. So it is possible for it to come through. But this Nine of Cups, I'm looking at that because the Wands energy is spiritual connection. You got the Nine of Cups. And then of all the cards to come out around feeling spiritual connection, you got one of the wall cards, right? So something to think about with all of that there. But that's based on current energies. That's there. I don't know. Something to think about with all this too, just as I'm sitting in the energy, because it's like, I don't feel like you let your connection or lack of connection with them influence your journey in big ways, but I still feel like it does create some static in your life from here and again, right? And realizing like what's important is my connection with spirit, right? My connection with other humans can be a reflection of my own connection with myself. So if I recognize there's a disconnect between me and someone else, a mirror, it's always a mirror some way, somehow. How am I disconnected with myself in some way? And it can be that, well, I'm defining myself maybe a little bit in my connection with them, because if they can't feel it, is there something wrong with me? It's like, no. But there might be something bubbling below the surface that you can look at regarding that. So if that resonates, right? That's what they got for you, Touch of Love. So many blessings to you. All right. Then we have Alice coming in. Look, 22424. So Alice, you want to know RJ's intentions, thoughts, and feelings towards you. All right, let's take a look here. Okay, and this one. All right. So we do have the Hanging Ghost, which is the Hanged Man in regular tarot, and the Queen of Wands coming in here. There is a kind of a holding pattern, a transformational energy that's coming from RJ here. They're not in a big rush with the Hanged Man. They're trying to see things themselves, their life from a different perspective. So just know that their intentions are more on hold because they're trying to figure out what they want in life and where they want to go, what they want to do. And they're just unsure. So they don't, it's like their intentions are paused because I need to know what I want before I invest energy. It's like before I go to school, before I go to college, I want to know what I'm going for because I don't want to waste money. It's like I don't want to waste energy. I don't want to waste emotion. I don't want to, bring false hope or anything with someone till I know what it is that I want. And they're in that transformational kind of phase and stage. So intentions are kind of like I said, paused. Thoughts and feelings. Queen of Wands energy is really what they see with you here. From their point of view, right? When we're asking other people's thoughts and feelings, just understand that everyone experiences it through the eyes of their own awareness, right? Their own life, the filters. I don't see the world as it is. I see the world as I am instead, right? Okay. So I definitely want to, you know, bring that up because when we're looking at the Queen of Staves, the Queen of Wands, they see you as someone, of course, very fiery. They're a lot of passion focused on you, and not so much emotion. It's motion, not emotion. They feel energetically attracted to you, physically attracted to you, but not. I feel like they're with their intentions paused. I also feel like there are more of someone who has learned to express their emotions through motion and passion and intimacy and that, not expressing the heart, but expressing it, through passions and that kind of energy. They do have these, you have the capacity to get things done. You're fiery, don't mess with you, you can be very passionate, but you can also, that can turn into, if you step wrong, right? If they step wrong, they're like, you'll beat them with this giant dragon staff. So there's respect there in a way of like they respect your fire, and they like your passion and fire because that's the way they're used to expressing their own. But intentions feel like they're just kind of trying to figure things out. I don't get a lot of intention there. So hopefully that helps a little bit, but that's what they have there for you. Right? So many blessings to you there, Alice. Hang in there. Right. And then lastly but not leastly, we have BB. Let's get your timestamp in here. After I'm done here in a moment, I will post a pinned comment listing the timestamps of all the readings I completed. So you can just click on it. It'll take you directly to your reading. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the free readings. It does help spread the Zen love. I'm so grateful for that. You're part of the love tsunami. So I appreciate it. All right, BB. Did Jake pass you on to the second round of interviews? All right, based on current energies right now, did they pass you on here? Well, we definitely want this one, and we want this one. All right, what do we got here? All right. We've got the Seven of Coins, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups here. BB, with this energy here, don't feel like they did, but I do feel like this is happening. Of course, everything does happen for us, but the Seven of Pentacles, besides the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit, there's also, once we see the fruit of our labor, we go, is that really what I want? I want something else. The Eight of Cups, too, is walking away from emotions or relationships that don't serve me anymore and heading into something that is more in alignment, heading off into the unknown of something that leads me to more of my dream come true energy. So I feel like they didn't pass you on, but it's doing you a favor in the long run, because I feel like if you got it, you'd be like, oh, I don't want this. You'd end up leaving it anyway to pursue something that's more in alignment with your heart, and about something that will make you feel like you're living instead of existing. And so I like that energy for you, for this, but I don't feel like you were passed on for the second round. But like, again, it's like you're like, thank goodness, because then you're not investing all this time, this energy toward that. Instead, you're like, what is more in alignment? Not following the head on what it says you're supposed to do and should do and need to do, but what your heart is guiding you to do. So hopefully that helps. That's what we have there for you, BB. So many blessings. Again, thank you guys so much for all your patience in getting to your readings. As I stated in here a moment, I'll post a quick pinned comment listing the order of the readings, and then I'll be back on Thursday for more readings. In the meantime, if you want a personal reading, I do offer those. All that information is down in the description box of the video. Until then, remember, every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you guys again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. We'll see you soon.